All right, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the mind today. I think a lot of the issues that I see with the pandemic and how it's leading us to absolutely a different kind of lifestyle after this pandemic. And I think it's affecting all areas of our life, work, attention, and it's been interesting to me to see how this influences our communities around the world. I'm running from a place in Asia, and you can see it's about 6 a.m. right now, and beautiful lake run. Definitely a beautiful sight. So, social media, long form, short form, mountains. Everyone is trying to capture a little piece of peace in themselves. And there's really less people moving now, unfortunately. And it kind of makes me sad to watch people in our communities depend on pharmaceutical drugs like GLP-1s to stay healthy. And as you can see, there are a lot of people in Asia still doing their morning exercise. Later, you'll see people hiking the mountains. I just want to give you guys a little perspective of what a different country does at 6 a.m. And give you guys some insight into how the eastern part of our planet, at least this little island, I'll tell you what it is at the end. That's the hook. But you can see how beautiful that is. We're gonna run up to this temple. I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna switch in between the views. I'm gonna talk, see if I like it. If not, I'll dub over it. But yeah, I'm really sad. They've got my dad on GLP-1 for 5 years, and he's finally off it. It's like a new person. But his insulin sensitivity's gone to crap. Because, when you're taking insulin for so long, and then you accelerate that with GLP-1, things change your body. Anything artificial you put in your body changes your body. And it's really important for us to know that these drugs work, but they come with side effects. And my intuition is that these drugs work better with doctor's consultation if you also exercise at the same time. So my dad told me something really special. I'm here to see him. Is that he is now mindful to do stairs a couple times a day. And he's definitely a diabetic, been a lifetime diabetic, and his strong influence on me for not drinking, smoking, or doing any of that stuff harmful to human health. So I guess his lifestyle paid it forward for me to live a healthy life. And I'm mindful of it. I think that's really important. Yeah, I mean, years ago, I pushed him through the surgery room where he had to get quadruple bypass surgery. And I kind of said at the moment, I don't want to do that. And stop doing that. So, it's no right or wrong thing. You have to look for the signals around you and then interpret those signals whichever way you want. So don't just take drugs and call it a day. If your doctor's prescribing you statins or metformin or insulin, talk to your doctor. Say, Doc, I'd really like to move a little bit while I'm on these drugs. Can you observe me for a 3-month period while I do both? Because I really would like to stay stronger on my own over time. And I think he would be delighted, absolutely delighted to hear that from you. Okay. We're going to go to the top of that mountain. And then I'm going to deliver you guys an incredible view. It's going to take about an hour. So I might decide to cut certain areas out, spare you guys pain. But, hey, I'm not editing. This is not scripted. You want the authentic conversation. This is it. And it's real, man. What I go through, a lot of people, Gen Xers, are going through now, watching their parents take GLP-1, losing half their muscle mass. It's freaking hard to watch your loved one not be able to take steps in a non-effortless way. By the way, guys, it's like it's like 100% humidity, about 80 degrees, 85 degrees. It's only 6 a.m. So I will be sweating profusely here shortly. So, when I was studying exercise prescription in my master's program, we always came out of the gate with the professor and our peers prescribing exercise that we thought would make a material difference. And we always got pushback from the professors in the beginning because, you don't go into like a master's program for exercise prescription unless you're like an exercise aficionado. You like trying to evangelize exercise, knowing that 80% of your customers won't do what you want to do. I mean, it takes a certain type of personality to want to do that, right? It's like the polar opposite, in my opinion, of what a doctor does. Doctor prescribes you drugs. our drug is exercise, there's the pill. You do the math. Which one's more likely to be easier to swallow? Ours is cheaper, but takes more work. And, the best system is a collaborative system where we, both the physician and us, the prescription expert in exercise, collaborate in helping the patient get through their disease and improve their symptoms, improve their biomarkers, improve their cholesterol, improve their blood glucose level, their hemoglobin. All these different markers we're taught to observe to describe our foundational health to each other, so we can sleep well at night. And unfortunately, the medicine really works well. It just does. You take statin, thins your blood. You take, it just works. But you're not developing stronger muscles, stronger cardiovascular system. You're not able to process more oxygen per hour because you're on these pharmaceutical drugs. You still need to exercise and to move. And Dr. Levine I'll put the show notes in later, from University of Texas in Dallas, they did a study. Oh, they did so many studies, but they can tell you with some level of certainty that at least for your cardiovascular health, you want to move at least 4 days, 5 days a week at some level of intensity to make sure that your transport system for blood, including your arterial health, how elastic it is, stays optimal. After middle age or late middle age, your arteries stiffen. And one of the best ways to offset that stiffness is exercise. And it's not just resistance exercise, it's aerobic exercise. Because if you want to increase the amount of volume of blood, your body, your heart can't pump, and reduce kind of your heart rate, your resting heart rate. It's kind of ironic, but that's the truth. So you also build a stronger heart by making sure that the muscles get stronger, at least on the outer parts of your heart. You can strengthen, make it thicker, make it stronger. So those are all the benefits of exercising in middle age, early middle age, because it translates into a longer life. Here's the view. It's beautiful. So it definitely translates into a longer life, because if you're able to move 4 to 5 days a week, more than 150 minutes, baseline's 150, but if you can do one bout of exercise that's vigorous and the rest moderate, you can have a heart equivalent to a younger person when you're in your 70s. And I think that should be what we're looking for as we age. Side effect is you're probably going to fend off cancer. You're probably going to have better appetite. You're probably going to have stronger muscles. I mean, there's so many benefits. And you're not going to, it's not about weight loss. It's about having a healthy body that performs when you need it to perform. So that's a little tempo we're going on. You guys can see. Okay. Thanks for keeping me company. Super lush and green. This next section looks like Lord of the Rings came by. Like, you'll see. Oh, you guys are gonna get knocked out by this baby. It's absolutely beautiful. So, here's Temple 1. Asian culture use Buddhism as a means of meditation to calm their soul. Listen, it's no different, in my opinion, than going to church on a Sunday trying to find peace, or Saturday. And, so it's a good way to live. Some people say their church is running, it's however way you get there to find peace. I think it's important for you. Yeah, I'll take this route because we get to go through this magical stairwell. Stay around, I'll tell you the secret of this place when we're done. It's very, very important to me. This entire area. All right, someone exercising. I love it. I love it. Someone practicing golf. I love chipping. So, back to through line. I'm just watching my dad age. And if I get to his age, 100%, in my opinion, I will have aged better. Because I'm just being so conscious of taking care of myself. If I don't get it, it's because of an accident, an unforeseen accident. Definitely not because I didn't try my very best to at least live to my life expectancy, 75, 77. See, guys, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Guys, take this walk, put me in the background. You got YouTube Premium. Put in the background, listen. I'm just chatting, talking about life. I'm Vic Day Adder. Trying to add days of all of our lives without pharmaceutical intervention, or I'm really trying to get people to not take supplements unless absolutely necessary. I'm not an expert, but I do know what to take, what not to take for the most part. Okay. We'll be quiet here and let people exercise. This is where I get inspiration. Stop. So you gotta take a look at this. I'm not gonna mute the sound. Nature, you know? Dude, totally enjoyable. Tell me this doesn't look like Lord of the Rings. If you haven't been exercising or are in your mid 40s, now's the time. Now is the time. All right. Starts with your mind. I always tell people circle, square, diamond. The circle is for your mind. If you can't get your mind to get you to move, it doesn't matter. So, what are you going to do to have a dialogue with yourself that today's the day I'm going to move? I'm going to move at least the CDC recommended dose. And be able to see what I see in an hour's time. You can see all this beautiful view. Beautiful view. It's 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. It's really not a lot, considering there's 24 hours a day. You can split the 30 minutes up in 10-minute blocks. And like in all my previous videos, it's very good for you to do non-exercise activity, fidgeting. Don't just stand. Stand and move around. Don't just sit. Sit and move around. That method, NEAT, or exercise snacking, can really help offload some of the excess calories we ingest every day, and to also strengthen our metabolism, and it awakens our stem cells. Those stem cells are like, okay, I get it, you're up. I get it, all right, I'm gonna send repair signals out to keep repairing myself. And it puts our soldiers into place to help repair our healers. Well, not soldiers, we're like healers. And the concept of exercise really has to do with, breaking down your body, right? So when you're breaking down the body, you're releasing this chemical reaction that allows it to signal to each other, hey, gotta repair Vic's body. And through that breakdown repair, your body gets stronger. You guys have all the buzzwords in AD. Tell them all those buzzwords. ATP, mitochondrial health. They're all important. Electron transport chain. But knowing all that vocabulary doesn't make you healthier, grow muscles, or prevent disease from happening to you or your loved one. Go. Be mindful. This is my favorite section. Look, 6:30 a.m. We're cleaning Good Samaritans. I'm gonna be quiet in this next step because everyone moves here. I don't want to wake them. Okay, thanks for hanging in there with me. That's what I love about people is once they get it, they get it. They're out here moving, enjoying the dopamine of exercising, the natural dopamine, combating stress. You know, a buddy of mine and I were going through a really rough patch of life. I'd failed a startup pretty badly. He was going through some personal things. And we were sitting together having a heart to heart. Sometimes you just have that bond with people. And I'm like, how often are you exercising every day? He's like, twice a day. I'm like, yeah, me too, 2 or 3 times. Whenever I get a little bit depressed, I go out and I climb the stairs, or I run, or I walk fast. You can't always run. I mean, literally your body will break down. And it's just nice to have someone acknowledge who's sober that that's how they also deal with stress. You know, you read about it, but in practice, it's nice to know you're not alone. That's why I'm sharing this with everyone. God knows, you know, not many people watch it, but it's not the point. It's therapeutic for me. And I think it will help a few of you each day. That's all that matters. 2 people watch this, it impacts them. It's amazing. Okay. All right. About 400 feet in and about 30 minutes in my side. About 400 feet again. One thing that I learned after age 45, I'm pretty much 50 right now, is that, man, a good set of stairs takes you 200 feet or more. Man, it can make up for a lot of the exercise you need on a weekly basis if you don't feel like walking, running, jogging, swimming, playing pickleball. It's all, and it's magical. So I actually learned how to hike these stairs before I even learned how to run. I wasn't always healthy, and one day I decided to climb these stairs, and I did it twice a day, 3 times a day, and it changed my life. I went from here to being an ultra runner within 24 months. Spectacular transformation. And I did it my own. I went through the same process everyone did. Buying shoes that were too small, trying insoles, doing massages, dealing with pain, shin splints, plantar fasciitis, IT band, runner's knee, neck pain, shoulder pain, But over time, your body gets stronger and it goes away. It's wonderful. And you get fitter, stronger. I've been getting stronger each year since I've been 33. Okay? For 17 years, I've only been getting strong. Now, could I have done significantly better running fast when I was young? Yes. But my stamina is just so good right now. I'm so happy with it, buddy. So, this is 550 feet of gainer. I just landed. I just got off the airplane. Off of a 14-hour flight. And my medicine is to exercise. I'm here to meet with some farmers. Guess what they farm? Something high in polyphenol. Let you guys guess. Starts with the letter T. Tea, yes. Alpine tea. Tea that farmers farm. High in polyphenol, L-theanine. That's around 5,000 feet in the mountains. So, I have a meeting with them tomorrow. And I hope that I can bring some wonderful tea to my friends and family and some of my fans that are literally asking me every time, what kind of tea do you drink? Well, I get my own tea. Well, can I have some? And that's kind of what set me off to this mission. The other thing is, you can take a lot of supplements, and you'll notice most of these supplements were trying to de-stress you, calm you, have this supplement called L-theanine. Guess where you get L-theanine from? Green tea. Okay. Tea leaves. Okay. So my thoughts are, why not get the benefits of the real thing instead of extracts? This is temple number 2. Beautiful temple. The monks live here and they play this beautiful music every day. That's the view of Taipei 101. The tallest, the world's first building built above, I think it's 500 meters. I know it was number 1 in the world for tallest building, 2004 to 2010. So, take a look at that. Enjoy it. The other thing I'm looking at here is ginseng. My grandfather took it. A lot of people in Asia take it. And I've looked at people who have been taking green tea, oolong tea, alishan tea, partially fermented, not fermented tea, and they look vibrant. So there's got to be something to this. And when everyone in their Western partners trying to extract any polyphenol or L-theanine, put in a pill, it works, right? So let's get the real deal. Let's find the best tea possible without pesticides, with very little pesticides. It's nearly impossible to not have pesticides sometimes. Okay, so the safest, healthiest, regulated tea that's not fake, that's not mixed, for people who would like to take care of their health. Okay, I can do that. And real ginseng, not ginseng, mixed and matched and all that. Like, maybe I can find some real ginseng and go and help us eat natural and get better and natural with exercise. And the only thing that may be unnatural for most of us as we age, unfortunately, because of our diet, many of us may be forced to take statin. Not for bad or for good. It's actually probably makes sense for a lot of people. Just keep the cholesterol down, And then if you exercise enough, it'll come down naturally, then wean off of it, or have a plan with your doctor. That's it. Look how sweaty I am. I'm soaked. It's 100% humidity. It's ridiculous how hot it is. It's 86 degrees right now. But we're constantly rewarded with these views. Okay, so we are now going to run to the third temple and then go down another really beautiful view. So the third temple is right here. And these stairs are magical. Okay? So, exercise, important. 30 minutes a day, very important. Vigorous, not that important, but once a week, important. First, a line of reasoning you need to conquer is your brain. The circle. The Kabbalah. And, okay, guys, here we go. We're going to go up these stairs. I'm going to take you guys up. I'm going to talk. You guys watch. Enjoy. We're at about 700 feet of ascent already. So let's see how many stairs, how much ascent this is. Okay. So where were we? We're talking about pharmaceutical intervention together with exercise. From my observation, that's probably the best ticket to premature mortality and living a life with strong health span, and, longevity. You need a little luck sometimes, right? But the quality of how you live every day, how strong you feel, that you can impact with exercise and intelligent dosing of certain pharmaceuticals. Some people I know, they just can't get their blood sugar down. And they're doing their best, or they can't get their blood pressure down. I get it. Some people try so hard to lose weight and they're exercising, but they have various problems with hunger, overeating, stress. So, yeah, one size doesn't fit all. Personalized exercise and medicine is the way of the future, not hyperdosing on supplements or anything to offset your need to exercise is really important. Don't take a back seat and say, you know what? I'm good. I just took some creatine. I'm good. I took some L-theanine. I'm good. I took some that's short-term Band-Aid solution. Exercise, as the experts describe, as Dr. Levine describes, is hygiene, right? It's like You want to take care of your body? You wash yourself. You brush your teeth. You comb your hair. Well, your body, your vessels, your cardiovascular system also needs hygiene. And the best way to give them hygiene is through movement and exercise. The Harvard alumni study came out, and I did an episode on this. On a longitudinal basis, people who exercise that were alumni avoided premature mortality by up to 30%. That's not 3%, guys. That's 30. I'll put all the links in there. The Japanese life extender exercise, where you walk 15 minutes slow, 15 minutes fast. Guess what? That reduced the likelihood of stroke, double digit, helped you sleep, double digit, fought depression up to, it's an obscene amount. It's double digit, high double digit. I'll put the links there too. And they know that 2-3 minutes of stairs every day is incredible for your health. And they knew that from the Sardinians, women are Sardinia, that had to climb a lot of stairs and hills to see their friends. There was no elevator, escalator, or car that they drove by themselves at 90. So that's how they got fit and stayed alive. Sorry, guys. It's 87 degrees, 100% humidity. And we're at the peak. Okay. We're going to respectfully go up the tempo without talking. I'm going to show you guys the view. So, that's view 1. We're going to go up view 2. With construction going on here. Isn't this beautiful? So those stairs are about 300 feet of climbing. Pretty good. I'm soaked. I'm soaked. Okay. Yeah. อันนี้เพจของเฟนมา We're doing construction, so you can't really see it. There's the view. Okay, you gotta be quiet. Slowly walk out of there. Under construction. Here it goes. Take you guys up here. There's a lot of farmland here. Some strawberry farmland and a lot of mountains that you can grow. Incredible. You guys experience magical. Those are different plots of land. Different places. Kind of nice, huh? It's just pleasant, natural. Okay. So there's no doubt that exercise can keep you moving. And there's no doubt that, we all sneak in a Snicker bar here and there or something we shouldn't eat here and there. But that's indulging, right? Just in moderation, I think you can live a very happy life. No one's saying don't drink. I don't drink. But it doesn't mean you can't have a drink here and there. The problems come when you have 3 drinks every night or 4 drinks, and then messes up your sleep, which then messes up your recovery. Like, that's rough. And if your body can't recover, then your body can't heal itself. And if your body can't heal itself correctly, then you're going to lose performance, energy, and you're not going to feel well. That's all. So not rocket science, right? Exercise helps you sleep better because you're tired, At the end of the night, you're like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. You go into bed, you go back to sleep, and you just sleep deep. You don't even need alcohol or what's the melatonin? Yeah, just sleep or any of that stuff, So yeah, I think that's fruits. Oh, market for sale. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? That's the takeaway. My dad's 81, and what's keeping him strong is these stairs that he does every day. He finally got off GLP-1. So he's in a slightly better mood. GLP-1 in some cases makes you depressed. It's a side effect, but you lose half of your lean body mass, your muscles, you lose half of it. So for those of us with parents in their 70s, 80s, or even 90s, I know the doctors put them on GLP-1 to control their blood sugar so they don't faint, or they don't have hypoglycemia. I get all that. But sprinkle in a little bit of exercise in that thing, help. But it's also hard, when you're on GLP-1, it affects you psychologically. You don't necessarily always want to move. It's not being empathetic or sympathetic. It's just like, it's miserable being sick. It's just miserable. So it's worth every piece of us to try to avoid going to the doctors. That I was reading about a study, I forgot the name. I'll do a separate episode, but 10% of us, let's say we're in a company. I think I saw John Mackey at Whole Foods. I think he was saying that when he insured all his employees, it was the 10% that used all the insurance premium. It made it expensive So what he did was he wanted to create this lifestyle intervention specifically targeting that 10% to get them healthier and then drop his insurance bill. So most of the population is in the 90%. Because they're not sick yet. That 10% is later in life they get sick, or just avoid it. You can avoid it through lifestyle. I hope this rant gets you thinking. And I keep going to the circles. The circle is your head. You got to complete the loop. Think, do. Think, do. Think about moving, do the movement. Don't think and not move. Complete the circle. The second thing, after you complete the circle, is when you exercise, make sure you think like a square. Rock's breathing. Breathe. Breathe every 4 seconds. Breathe. Breathing is energy and life. And once you can move and you can breathe, you'll get stronger. And you'll improve your resilience. And the resilience is what gives us, in my opinion, the ability to live life to its fullest. Because so many of the great things in life, they don't happen without a fight. All right, this is my favorite guy. Running uphill. Love this guy. All right. This dude is on point. My kind of guy. Look at that view. This is an hour-long video, so 9 more minutes to bear. I'll tell you where this is. Yeah, so we're going to do a loop like a lollipop. We're going to go down this other magical area. So we came down there through that valley, and we're going to go around down. Okay? Pretty simple. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to be part of my therapy session. I feel really, really good, physically and mentally because of exercise and endurance training and strength training. I'm not gonna lie. I really put time into this thing. And my wife was discussing with me a couple of days ago, and she's like, Vic, you really had the intention to make sure you got up on days you didn't want to get up. Make sure you did runs when you didn't want to run. Do all those things we don't want to do and did them. And you're able to experience life at 50 different than many other people. And I want that for everyone. I think our planet would be incredibly better if we all just transported ourselves more by foot and not by car. My goodness. This car thing driving everywhere. The United States is big, I get it. That's beautiful. We finish the loop and you're done. You don't have to see everything twice. There's a little temple here at the top. And there's like a mini Legoland. That's cool. Like that's a little seat. That's like a fish. Anyway, so I'm meeting with farmers tomorrow. It's actually friends of ours. And they're 3rd generation farmers now. And it's in Taiwan, in the hills and mountains of Taiwan. I'm in Taipei right now, the capital city. I am excited because we have an agenda. We want to bring single origin tea to the United States with the best quality possible. What does that mean? That means you're not drinking a bunch of pesticides. You're drinking tea based on what is represented in the packaging, real density in terms of polyphenol, L-theanine. And I'm selfishly, this is for me because I drink a ton of tea, and I've been reading reports that some of the tea we buy from leading brands may have some issues sometimes. So I'll find my own and share with everyone. These are things called high mountain tea. It's green tea, partially fermented green tea. It's green. The color's green. And then as it oxidizes, turns a little orange. Please, guys, this is not the tea they pour you at a Chinese restaurant. No. I'm sorry, guys. That's not tea. That's whatever that is. Yeah, it's tea, but it's like bad coffee. Okay? We've had bad coffee. It's like a bad bed. It's like a stinky motel. That's what it reminds me of. Traffic. So that's next level. Walking barefoot, grounded. Dude, I'm telling you, that works. It takes practice, but it works. So, and then next on the docket is meeting some ginseng farmers too. It can help with energy, stress. Energy is really what I'm after with ginseng. It can give you clean energy. So we'll see how that develops. You can chew it. It's like ginseng pieces. Real ones. Not in a gum. Not cheap, but really good. Or you could steep it in tea. Steep it in water. It's not actually tea. It's not a tea leaf. So that's my agenda. And I'm out in a couple days. Back on the saddle. I'm doing these tea talks at running stores around the country. I'm really enjoying it. I meet like-minded people. It's free. We just chat. We talk about health, wellness, and community. And I'm giving kind of running stores another kind of facet. Let's not just go there to run, do fun runs, pub runs. Let's go there to talk health and not just physical therapy or see a physical therapy, not injured prevention. Real health. Oh, popular spot. Full of people. That's a Sunday cohort. So and you can see, look, here's the view number, the last view. Is that beautiful? Look. So that's like a miniature description of different parts of Taipei. They just did this little model. Isn't that wonderful? It is beautiful. We are at the 59-minute point. I'm going to sign off first. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the hike. Stick around if you like for another minute or two. I'm gonna finish the hike and go to the end, to the first bridge you guys saw. I'm gonna chat a little bit more, but at least you know where I am. I'm in Taipei, Taiwan, visiting farmers for tea and ginseng. Not gummies, not synthetic stuff, real stuff. And that's kind of what I'm on the hunt on. Real things that are not processed or minimally processed. Okay, I get it. Minimally processed. Tea is, yes, we had to dry the tea, ferment the tea. I get it. That's good for human health. And then create conversations around tea and healthy things that we can discuss, like, hey, should we be a carnivore? Should we be a vegan? Should we be Mediterranean? Why? And not really hold a strong opinion, but share the science and be open to how other people are doing it, and where people have found success, where people have found failure, and highlight that around communities in the United States through running stores, walking stores, and giving everyone, a little place to share their concerns. Everyone's concerned, everyone's concerned about their health as we age. You think you feel a little bit, something's wrong, and then you feel, you start to freak out a little bit, when we're older. What's wrong with me? And you want to just sometimes have people to talk to. That's not just necessarily a doctor, or a physical therapist. It's like, hey, let's talk health. Let's talk about what the doctors are saying, what the influencers are saying, what the scientists are saying, put it together, mark it up, and see what the consensus is. And then you take your own path of action you see fit. There's no evangelizing, just sharing information. I think community lacks that right now. It's a place where you can be in Menlo Park, Encino, Rancho Cucamonga, Laguna Hills, Irvine, Chino Hills, Hawaii, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Arizona, Seattle, Sacramento. You can be anywhere, Florida, New York State, New York City, and you can sit down within your community and say, hey, guys, I heard this fasting thing is really working. What does everyone think? And have a moderator like myself present some of the science for everyone to discuss around. Like, hey, this is what Dr. Walter Longo says from USC. This is what Peter Attia says. This is what Andrew Huberman says. What do you guys think? Why does this doctor from John Hopkins, say something completely different? Well, we don't have to be right or wrong. Dr. Ford, as an example. Ford Brule. He's an interesting doctor. I like him, but some people might think he's completely crazy. But why? He makes sense. But so does Huberman. So does Attia sometimes. So does this incredible podcast, Viva Longevity. So does Physionic. So do all these people. What should I do? And that's what I hope to bring to everyone through community, through these discussions. Brown tea, maybe ginseng. I'm still on the fence with that. I gotta try it more. I've tried some gummies. It's worked for a little bit and stopped working. So not sure I'm back behind that. I took creatine for a little while. I don't know, man. I get it, but I think I'm not part of the demographic that needs creatine yet. I eat healthy. I exercise every day. I'm not sure I'm deficient or more is better for me. I'm not sure. You may think different, but that's why. Let's get together and talk. You may swear by it, and that's great. Yeah, and then the other thing I'm really interested in, actually almond butter, nut butter, peanut butter, cashew butter, natural butters, fats that we can take more readily on a simpler basis, but what's the quantity? You know, what's the deal with saturated fat? What's the deal with LDL? What's the deal with HDL? What's the deal with triglyceride? What should I do? What's ApoB? You know, what's little particle, big particle, VLDL? What are all those things? Well, I can moderate that. You know, I can share with you guys what the science is and you guys can discuss. These are cool discussions because it gives you a little bit of insight into the complexity in modern 2025 when we have an abundance of information, but also an abundance of practical solutions, right? From qualified individuals. And I promise you, after we meet digitally or in person, you will have tools to investigate on your own what is important to your lifestyle and what you can do to improve your longevity, mainly health span. I think longevity has more luck involved, you know? It just does. And then you have genetics at play, but epigenetics, I think, is an important part of life, you know? And I also think that it's important, and I often tell, it's important from this point of view. I often tell people that, hey, I've been alive for 50 years. They've been studying the same group of people for 50 years. You don't think they're going to find some interesting results? Well, guess what? Those results are coming out every day, you know, because these scientists have managed to take that work over multiple decades and come out with and infer results from it. That's remarkable. So let's discuss it. What are they inferring? Well, most of them are inferring that exercise is helpful to your health span longevity, right? So let's start there. Well, this is the end of the hike almost. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy this segment. Enjoy the nature of sound. Promise you nature is healing. I promise you, if you heal yourself, if you have a strong body, strong mind, everyone around you will feel more pleasant being around you. That's my 10 cents. Sure. Oh, this is just magical. You can please follow me on Instagram, day_adder, and or subscribe to this channel. I'll keep you guys informed of what's going on. Thank you so much. I'm gonna pause. Wow, that's about, okay, guys, that's an hour, 10 minutes, about 1,200 feet of climbing, about 5 miles, 4.5 miles. By the time I get back to the hotel, it'll be about 5 miles, 5.5. All right, Amy. Thanks for being with me. Signing off, guys. Signing off. In the pad back.